Welcome, race fans, once again here tonight to Virtual Racing Network. Tonight we are at Talladega Superspeedway for race number 1 of 2. Of course, that second race will be Thursday. We'll be back at Talladega for the Northwest Truck Series, but tonight it's all about the Xfinity cars here at Talladega Superspeedway. It should be a great race. This track 2.66 miles long. Actually, 2.65 if you want to get it according to iRacing. Regardless, not going to be much of a difference. We have a great race in store for you here tonight as we'll pop your countdown there. 5 minutes on the clock here in practice before we move into qualifying. Before we get to any of that, though, we need to thank the sponsors that make all of this possible. Of course, on the racing side of things, starting with Walls Beard Co. Beard Balm. If it wasn't for them, this league wouldn't be here. They have been a supporter since day one, so make sure you support them for your first day and many days after. You can check them out at wallsbeardco.com. We'll see, will Mark Walls make his return here tonight? Well, that is the rumor we hear. Mark Walls will be returning to racing here tonight. Excuse me. That being said, on the broadcast side of things here for 2019, we have the following partners that make it all possible themselves here at Northwest Racing Series. Walls Beard Co. Beard Balm, RaceOnTexas.com, World of Thunder, Hanover Wrecker Service, On the Edge Motorsports, your official Wicked Energy Gum retailer, Huffman Designs, Racecore Online Racing League. As unfortunately, we will not be covering any more Racecore Online Racing League events due to car counts being below what the race control wanted. The race admins have decided to suspend all of broadcasting, so it's unfortunate, but we're still on good terms with them. We were glad to be there as long as we were. So it's unfortunate when it does happen, but it happened in this case. It's just one of those deals where the car count has dipped too low to make it viable to continue broadcasting the races. But we definitely enjoyed our time there, and we're definitely going to enjoy our time here tonight. As again, we have currently 3 minutes left on the clock. There's a lot of stuff going to be happening here for tonight's race. As we're looking at the point standings coming in to tonight's race. Just to give you kind of a general summary, we'll be going through these stats later on tonight. Brian Barnes, Chris White, Jeff Stabnell, Dan West Jr., Seth Fraser, Sean Breisman, and Jesse Gray. Those 7 drivers are locked in to the points. Of course, we are going to take... that's locked in by win. We also have Jason Berg, James Thurston, and John Ottenbacher that are locked in by points. So, of course, we have the top 16 that are going to be making it. So we still have Stephen Paulson, Casey Tillman that are battling for get into that chase, as well as Travis McKinney, Frank Harris, James Vining, and Daniel Masters. So a lot of people biting for that, top 12, not top 16. Top 12 make it to the first round, and we have 6 drivers battling for it. At the moment, Stephen Paulson and Casey Tillman are in. Of course, you have McKinney, Harris, Vining, and Masters fighting to get in as we run. So it'll be very interesting to see how these guys do all stack up later on tonight. Looking at the point standings, Stephen Paulson, with his drops, has 556 points, the exact same as Casey Tillman. And then Travis McKinney, who I do not see here tonight due to some, I believe, some family issues going on there, some real-life stuff that we won't get into. He's not going to be here. So we got 524 points, so it'll be interesting to see how these guys do play everything out here tonight. But again, a lot of stuff on the line when it comes to the point standings, so we'll cover all of that and let you know who is where as the clock is winding down. We have 1 minute left on the clock. Grab you something to drink, something to snack on. This is the last minute to do it. Head on to that homemade concession stand in your kitchen, and we will be right back with qualifying from the Talladega Superspeedway. All right, you see time is up 2 seconds left on the clock. It is time to get into qualifying, so we're going to go ahead and drop down qualifying. There's the little flagman waving the checker flag, as we refer to him as Kevin Fry, the flagman, here on iRacing. Obviously not him, but we can pretend. Either way, the green flag is out. They have 10 minutes to get around this track. It's going to be just a minute before they actually get out there and complete some laps. Obviously, the first one going to be a warm-up lap, as we will drop down and bring up your qualifying driver bar here. For your first driver, it's going to be number 40, Bruce Lee Weaver, who we do not always see here. We've seen him a couple of times, but tonight going to be racing with us here. We'll see how he stacks up against the rest of this field here at Talladega. Going to be one of the only few drivers out. Daniel Masters out on the track, as well as Chris White is out on the track as well. Which over Chris White. We gave Chris White the number 82 6-star Motorsports. Chevrolet Camaro there looking good as always. We'll switch back to the number 40. Again of Bruce Lee Weaver. He will be the first one to put in a time here momentarily. The question is, what kind of time will it stack up against the competition here tonight? Alright, again, times are starting to come in here for warm-up laps, as we have about 7 or so drivers that have put in those times. Sorry, about 6 drivers total that have put in warm-up laps. We'll be seeing how, again, everybody stacks up in qualifying, but qualifying not really meaning a whole lot here at Talladega. What it does mean is you're going to get a good pit stop. Other than that, not necessarily much more. Obviously, you get a good starting position, but again, that doesn't mean a whole lot here at Talladega or Daytona or tracks like this, where, of course, you could get shuffled to the pack very quickly. So something we will be monitoring there to see how everyone does do. But right now, Bruce Weaver, the only one with the time in, as we say that, 54.383. Daniel Masters going to take a second place time in the 03 machine, as Chris White is going to take a top time here, 53.928. Again, that is as of right now. John Ottenbacher also going to go to 54.507, as he will jump to 4th place. But those times will drop probably to the 52s before their or after their second lap. And we'll see, and that's kind of what we were thinking. Not quite as low as we thought, at 53.436 for Bruce Lee Weaver in the number 40 machine, as he's going to slow it down on track. So his time is done. We'll switch over to Chris White in the number 83 machine, as we'll zoom in on the car just a little bit. And he is going to put in a time of 53.519. He'll stay in second place, actually third place now, as Daniel Masters going to jump to second in the 03 machine with a 53.047 behind. Well, it was your leader anyway. Now it's going to switch over the 89 John Ottenbacher, who runs a 53.447.012 behind your race leaders. He brings it to a stop. Jeff Stab now out on the track in the number 24 machine, as he is currently 5th fastest, 54.375, and he's going to drop to 6th place, as his teammate, the 46 of Sean Brightsman, is going to take to the top of the charts with a 53.431. And it looks like he is going to close it down, and he will be done here for qualifying. As I say that, I can't tell. Maybe he's coming back out onto the track, actually. But he has already got the top of the charts, so we'll see. Looks like he's going to go ahead and take a second lap anyway. We'll go back to Jeff Stabnow right there as he takes the top. 53 for 22.009 faster than his teammate. He's going to go through the grass, so obviously that's going to invalidate his second lap, so he'll shut it down as we head over to Casey Tillman out on the track. Scott Mann just ran a 7th fastest time, about 54.307. Casey Tillman going to run a 53.861 on his first lap. Again, we'll see how these guys stack up here in just a little bit. So far, everyone doing a fantastic job. Scott Mann getting that 53.413 on his second lap. But a 53, well, I say that, there we go. It's going to bump up 53.411. And he will take to the top of the charts in the number 90 Mountain Dew Camaro here tonight. A 53.411 for Scott Mann, sitting on the pole here for tonight's race. At the moment, we go over to James Thurston, and that's at number 2, Too Old for Forza group. That is not saying he's too old for Forza. That is a group we found out that he does play in, or that he's a part of, so he's going to take it out on to the track and see how he fares in qualifying against this competition, which, by the way, is a very stiff competition here. You really got to be on your toes here if you're going to be racing with this group, especially in a fixed series like the Xfinity series here tonight. Alright, watching the number 2, he just ran a minute 1. Obviously, that's not going to be his first lap. It will be his first lap, just that warm-up, not his actual first lap under full power. Chad Malik out on the track as well in the number 6 machine, as he's going to run it all the way up to the high side. We'll see just how he stacks up here tonight. Again, Chad Malik has been here several times, but still fairly new considering everyone else here, so we're glad to see him here, as well as Bruce Lee Weaver and Jesse Gray here as well tonight. He's been here obviously quite a bit in that 08 machine, but good to have him nevertheless. Frank Karras and everybody else. Dan West Jr. so far not coming out onto the track. I am surprised by that. James Thurston, a 53.877. That'll keep him right at 10th place. So you go back to Chad Malik, but again, Dan West Jr., Stephen Paulson, and Jesse Gray not coming out onto the track. I'm not necessarily thinking that's a bad move, not qualifying, but to see Dan West Jr. not qualifying, definitely a surprise, as he does so good in qualifying. It does really good in the race. Then there's those couple times this hasn't panned out for him, or something happens, but he has his fair share of wins here in the series. As Chad Malik going to take 11th place with a 54.326. We'll see if his second lap is going to be any better here at Talladega, but again, should be good at least into the 53s. We'll just have to wait and see how that time is. And again, he has to go a long ways to get to start-finish line right there. And it's going to be a 53.656 as he'll drop James Thurston to 11 and take 10th fastest here in qualifying, again with a 53.656 as he's going to bring it to a stop. And we'll go ahead and get rid of that. 45 seconds left on the clock. So we'll get rid of qualifying off your screen. Nobody else is going to have a chance to come out. Even if they came out, they wouldn't have time to complete a lap, as Scott Mann is going to be your pole sitter here for tonight's race, with the ever so fast, the 24 of Jeff Stabnow going to be on his outside. And so we'll go through your full pole. Wow, full lineup here in just about 16 seconds. All right, we are set to get this thing going, ladies and gentlemen. As it again is going to be the 90 of Scott Mann on pole. Let's get to your Walls Beard Co. Beard Palm starting grid on row one. As we'll switch over to it. There we go. On row one is going to be the number 90 of Scott Mann. On his outside, the Stabinator, Jeff Stabnow, that number 24 machine. Row 2 is going to be the 46 of Sean Breitzman and the 40 of Bruce Lee Weaver. Row 3 is going to be the 89 of John Ottenbacher and the 03 of Daniel Masters. Row 4 is going to be the 92 of Casey Tillman and the 333 of James Vining. Row 5 is going to be the 83 of Chris White and the 6 of Chad Malik. Row 6 is going to be the 2 of James Thurston and the 08 of Jesse Gray. Jesse Gray going to be one of the first drivers, or the first driver, to not take a time here in qualifying. Row 7 is going to be the 58 of Stephen Paulson and the 55 of Dan West Jr., also not taking times. And rounding out the field here, what would have been the 11 of Frank Harris rounding out the field. That's going to push him up a row, as that'll do it for the starting grid. But you see the 90 there of Scott Mann going ahead and taking the EOL. So he qualified pole, but likes to fight his way through this field. So he is going to receive that EOL penalty of choice. So we won't really call it a penalty. He receives that EOL of his choice. So he will take to the back of the field. As we go back to the front, it's going to be teammates here going to be starting this race. The 24 and the 46 going to be starting side by side here in tonight's race. That will push, technically the 24 should be a race leader, but it's going to push the 46 of Sean Breitzman to the front, as he will be the one starting this race. We're just about ready to get things going. So go ahead and bring your main bar up onto the screen. You're watching the Northwest Xfinity Series presented by Walls Beard Co. live here tonight on a Virtual Racing Network. And depending where you are, it could be morning. I believe it's still night here in the U.S. But I know we got some people watching overseas as well. But either way, it is morning, or well, yes, technically morning, night, whatever you want to call it. We're glad you're here tuning in tonight. Let us know who your pick is for tonight's race win, as we're going to zoom out just a little bit so you can get a feel for this field, as I expect to see some really good racing from everybody here tonight. Alright, we are just about set to get the green flag here at Talladega Superspeedway. It is a long stretch. There it is. Green flag is out, and we are racing here for the first time tonight. Again, at Talladega Superspeedway, anything is possible. Anything could happen, and very well probably will happen. It'll just be a matter of trying to figure out who's going to win this race, and we won't know that till the time is right, and that will be going to the checkered flag on lap 60. As again, this track is notorious for wadding cars up into big piles. So you know those dirt races you see, the big cars are wrecking and big pile-ups. You can see that here as well. So we'll see if that's the case. But we are racing. Your race leader at the moment is going to be Sean Brightman. You see, just like that, Jeff Stabenow shuffled all the way back to 8th place, as his lead did not stay too long, as he was able to get up there for just a minute, but then got shuffled back. But he's got his two teammates up there in 1 and 2, Brightman and Ottenbacher. So those two will work with him, as this is a drafting track. You've got to have those partners working together. However, when you're not together at the beginning, it makes it very difficult. As we go back to Jeff Stabenow, he does have some company back there, as he's got the 333 of James Vining behind him, I do believe it is, as well as Casey Tillman in the 92 pushing him forward. So a lot going on there at the front of this field, midfield, and all the way back. So we currently have 15 cars in the race here tonight. And so far, so good. I don't see anybody really jumping out of line too much, making any sudden moves. Of course, if you're behind the wheel of one of these things, you may think the guy behind you is all over the place. It really is a different perspective when you're there. And speaking of that, why not? Let's go back here to Jeff Stabenow, and let's go on board with him for a minute and look what he's seeing here. As he's on board, or we're on board with Jeff Stabenow right now in that 24 machine. You can see just how close he is to the back bumper of that 92 of Casey Tillman. He also has the 03 just in front of him of Daniel Masters. Of course, there's the 89 of Ottenbacher, the 46 just out of your sights there due to the roll bar right there. That is Sean Brightman. And they are bumper to bumper. Picture 5 o'clock traffic at 200 miles an hour. Inches away. That's what this is right now. This is the type of racing that you're seeing here at Talladega Super Speedway. We are currently 3 laps down on lap number 4, caution free so far here, and I expect it to continue that way, as we already have them going 3 wide, but they think better of that. They're going to tuck in. That is going to be the 90 of Scott Mann. That is going ahead and making it 3 wide, but he decides otherwise. He's going to tuck back in, at least for the minute. He's still out there, hanging it all out, trying to make something happen. But he has got to get back in sooner. He's going to get hung out there to dry, as Dan West Jr. is going to try to make something happen. He's going to get into the wall there just a little bit as well, in that number 90 machine from Scott Mann. We go back to the front. Sean Brightman still the race leader, but Bruce Lee Weaver in the number 40 machine, saying, I may be one of the newer guys, but I'm going to come up here and give you a run for your money, as he is doing just that. He is your race leader here as of the moment, and he's got company coming. He's got Casey Tillman pushing in 92 as well as the 24 Jeff Stabenow. So Stabenow working his way back up to 6th position. They just changed there from 8th to 2 spots. Question is, can he tuck in and get with his teammates, as the 46 of Sean Brightman almost commits to the top line in the number 40, but doesn't, and now he's stuck in the middle in the sucker hole spot, is where they like to call it around here, as I say that was considered the sucker hole spot, but at the same time, Jeff Stabenow comes down to help him, and so does the 40. Coming down to help him, Bruce Lee Weaver as well, and that's going to leave Casey Tillman all by himself up on the high side, but the 40 is going to go back up and try to help him as well. So they are zigzagging back and forth all over the place here tonight, and there goes the 90 around, and caution is going to be out for the 90 of Scott Mann, as he does save it there for the first time, but then ends up going around. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened. To the aerial coverage we go. That came a little nauseating there just a minute. We apologize for the Saints Forward aerial coverage tonight. And we're going to get off that camera in there. Right there, you just see a little bit of a hook, and around he goes and into the outside wall. That will bring out caution number 1 as we are going to step away here on lap number 7. I do expect to see some guys possibly come down. This would be a fuel strategy. Tires really aren't that necessary. But we'll see who comes down for fuel and tires here under caution number 1 on lap 7. Alright, we are back in fuel only for the 89 of John Ottenbacher, so we are going to see if we can't get a quick word in with him here as soon as he gets back on to the racing surface. Again, he's got to cross this blue cone here in a minute, and he's going to emerge up on to the track, so let's see if we can't get a word in with him as we go on board. Those lights are still on. John Ottenbacher, you got a copy?
I got you.
All right, well, we're riding on the board with you here at the moment behind the pace car. Fuel only in the 89 machine. We kind of expected that may be a play. Tires not going to be too big of a factor, so we're going to get a driver's perspective here. How often do you think you'll take tires? If we were to have a caution here in another 5 laps, you think you'd take tires that time?
I don't think we'll come in again for a while. Even if we can't, have a caution in 5 laps, I won't come in again yet.
Well, there you have it. So, obviously, the tires not really too much of a factor in the race. We heard about 24 laps of fuel running solo. That being said, when you're in the pack, has that estimate changed?
I think just a little bit, yeah.
Well, it's definitely interesting here. The lights, I think, are still on. Obviously, you got your teammates there with you, or you did anyway. They've kind of gotten shuffled up just a little bit. There's a lot of fans out there watching that may not see too much plate racing because there's only really 2 tracks. How important tonight are those teammates going to be for you?
Oh, they're real important. You want to be with your best friends out here and get some good drafting and just stay in line and stay out of trouble.
All right, and of course, the last question before we let you go here. Obviously, you want to work with your best friends, your teammates out there. But if your teammates aren't there coming to the end of this race, you got 2 guys behind you. How do you decide who to work with?
It'll be tough. Who's ever going faster?
There you go. Whoever is going faster, we'll let you get back to it. The lights are off, and we're going to go racing next time by.
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, there you hear it first from the own words of the 89 of John Ottenbacher. Who do you go with if you can't go with your teammate? Whoever's faster. That is who you choose to go with, and that is a valid answer. You go with whoever can get you to the front and lead the race. We want to, of course, remind everybody, first off, thanks for tuning in here. And it looks like he is going to the back, so I'm not sure what that's about. But John Ottenbacher in the back of the field now As let's go off board with him real quick and see what might be happening. As looks like he is going to receive the EOL penalty here and go to the back. So I'm not sure what that is about. Maybe a speeding penalty, not sure. But something happened, and he is going back all the way to 14th place. But again, as he was saying, you've got to be with your teammates or whoever can push you. As we go back to the front, it's going to be Jeff Stadnow and Casey Tillman, 1 and 2, coming into the line, and that will give the lead to the 92 of Casey Tillman. Alright, we are set to go racing this time by. This pace car will dive off and we go racing again. The caution coming out on lap 7. That is the first caution of the night. We currently will go racing to start lap number 10. And we'll see how many more cautions will there be here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway for the Northwest Xfinity Series, presented by Walls Beard Co. Green flag in the air. We are racing. They're going to get really spread out on the restart. I really did not expect to see that get that spread out. Usually they start off a little slower. They got a really good start for those front three. They kind of spread out just a little bit. But of course, this is Talladega. They will regroup faster than you think and make things happen once again. And just like that, they do it. But still a little more spread out than I thought they'd be back here. As there's a single file pretty much from about 6th place on. As you go up here, you see James Thurston in that 2. The last one on the outside after that, they're single file, but here comes the 333 of James Vining. He's going to take to the outside as well. The 90 of Scott Mann. After that little hook he went around, he's back in the mix of thing. He has used his fast repair, so we'll see how he can get back to the front, how easy it is for him. We know he loves going through this field and fighting his way to the front from the back. And that is what he did earlier. He got the pole, started at the back, and now he's going to thread the needle and go right through the center of this track in the center lane, as he wanted to get up there with the 2 and the 12. He's going to do just that with James Thurston, and that 12, I believe, is not actually the 12 out on the track. I believe that is the 11 of Frank Harris, if I'm not mistaken. It is indeed. So the 12, technically the 11 of Frank Harris. Jeff Stadnow out front, though. Chris White followed by the 92 of Casey Tillman. Now it's going to be Bruce Lee Weaver, as he's going to put Casey Tillman back one spot. Again, it's shuffling back and forth. It's just a matter of jockeying for position out here. You never know who is going to end up where at the end of the night. You can be leading all but the last lap and wreck out on the last lap, get taken out, spin out. So many things can happen here at a super speedway. The $1 million question is, who will be sitting in victory lane? This is the last race before the round of 12. Again, we've talked about that a little bit, who's in that round of 12. So far, there are several drivers locked in, some of them on points, some of them on wins. It's Brian Barnes, Chris White, Jeff Stadnow, Dan West Jr., Seth Frazier, Sean Brightsman, and Jesse Gray locked in on wins. Then we have Jason Berg, James Thurston, and John Ottenbacher locked in on points. Stephen Paulson and Casey Tillman are in the chase as of right now. Travis McKinney, Frank Harris, James Vining, and Daniel Masters trying to beat them. As right now, obviously, McKinney not here, but Harris and Vining and Masters are here. They're trying to get by Stephen Paulson and Casey Tillman, who are both here as well. So 5 of the 6 that are trying to get into the chase via the points after tonight. are here racing, and of course the two of James Thurston currently running in about 4th position, I would say, here at the moment. So doing a good job for him. And it'll just be interesting to see how he does in this race, and will he lock himself in 2 points later on tonight. I think he'll do a good job of just doing that. The question is, will the others do? Are they going to do enough to get by your race leader? I just don't know. We'll see. But it's definitely going to be something to watch. And we'll be talking to these drivers during the cautions to get their input here, especially these bubble drivers like James Thurston and some of these others. We'll talk to Jeff Stabnell, I'm sure, see how he's feeling about the car here tonight, as he's already locked in. He's trying to get those bonus points by winning tonight's race. He's doing a really good job out front here in the number 24 machine. But look who's on his outside, Chris White. Also another driver locked in, looking to get that bonus point for the win. And he's doing a good job out there on the outside as well, but there's just not a whole lot of help. This is not a track where you can say, I'm fast, I'm going to win this race. It is really about working with your teammates, or you're just buddies out on the track. This is where, if you wreck someone at a mile and a half, a mile track, a short track, and if you wreck them and they want to get you payback, this is where they can do it. The last race before the chase, and more importantly, Talladega, Daytona. These are the kind of tracks where payback comes back tenfold. You can do something to somebody, and they don't even have to wreck you to pay you back. They can just not work with you, and you will get shuffled to the back in a hurry. So again, it's not even a matter of intentionally wrecking or anything like that for payback when you come to a track like this. It is just a matter of getting revenge by not helping them. So a lot of things on the line here tonight. We'll have to see how they do stack up, though. At the moment, Jeff Stabnell out front leading this race. We want to know in the chat there, let us know, we're watching social media, who your pick for tonight's race win is. Let us know on social media who your pick is. We'll be monitoring social media here throughout the night. As Casey Tillman trying to get to the back bumper of the 24, Jeff Stabnell give him a little bit of a boost, and he does that, and he keeps him ahead of Chris White in that 83 machine. Chris White trying to battle on the outside, but he only has 5 cars versus, well, I'd say Fort Wayne looks like Scott Mann's out of the race, so you got about 9 cars versus 5 cars, so your odds of making it run, not real good, but I'm not going to call him out just yet. Chris White is a very good racer. So is the 40 of Bruce Lee Weaver, when we've seen him. James Thurston, James Vining, and Dan West Jr., the Rocket Man himself, usually rocking a good time in qualifying tonight. Did not qualify. Started in the back, and he is fighting his way through this field as we speak. Currently sitting in 12th place, so not as much as he would like to see progressing through this field, but he definitely is moving in the right direction. Again, Scott Mann, unfortunately, out of the race. That is definitely a bummer for him. He likes to race, and obviously wants to finish well, but tonight just won't be one of the nights for him. Again, we appreciate everybody for tuning in here tonight. I know it's a late night. We thank you for tuning in. And of course, if you have a driver you are rooting for, let us know in chat, social media, however you can get a hold of us, who your driver is. I know we got a lot of fans of a lot of different drivers out there watching. And I'm not sure, I don't think we have the camera to do it. Unfortunately, we don't have our static cam here with us at the moment, so that is a little disappointing, but We would, if we could, we would go a little cranked up here. We just don't have the camera in place, so that's unfortunate at this track. So we'll have to blame the cameraman for that. Not getting those cameras set up in time here for tonight's race. That's Casey Tillman moving to the front of this field. He's going to take the lead. We'll see if Bruce Lee Weaver or Chris White can get up there, as Jeff Stadnell is going to get shuffled back to 5th place. All right. Oh, we got a car going down, and that is going to be, I'm not sure, that is going to be the 6th of Chad Malik as he comes back onto the track. Chad Malik going off the racing surface. And I want to note here, we are almost, we are 10 laps from the halfway point. Casey Tillman leading here on lap number 21. We are just about halfway done with this race. We have only been live for 43 minutes, and of course, about 15 to 20 of that was practice and qualifying and the grid. So we've actually only been here about 20 minutes or so racing, 25 minutes of racing here so far as we're watching that number 92. We're going to let you watch this group. We're going to zoom in here just a little bit, watch this main group. We're just going to let, actually, you know what, let's go on board here again with Jeff Stab now. And just let these cars do the talking here for a lap or two. All right, we are back again, just running a little bit on the board there. You went on board with a couple of different drivers. Jeff Stabnell fighting his way from about 5th or 6th position all the way to what looked to be about 2nd place. And then he's kind of been shuffled back once again. And that's what we were talking about. Qualifying is important, but it's not a huge factor in the racing here at Talladega or Daytona. Any super speedway track like this, it's important, but it's not the main factor. Is that you can qualify first and get shuffled back all the way to about 10th place. That is exactly what you saw happen to Jeff Stabnell on the start of this race. He wasn't pole, but of course it was 2nd place and got shuffled back quite a bit. That can easily happen when you come to a track like this. But just as easy as you can get shuffled back, you can get shuffled back to the front, as the people that shuffled you to the back get shuffled back as well. So again, this track is one of those that's not forgiving, but at the same time it is forgiving. So when it comes to you getting pushed to the back, it's unforgiving. But when it comes to you returning the favor, you can also push drivers to the back as well. So it's a track you love to hate it. Sometimes you don't want to be here, and we are having some major issues here. And not sure what's going on with the sim here at the moment. And there we go, we're back. We apologize for that. I'm not sure what happened there. But having some issues here tonight with the stream, apparently. With the sim itself, not the stream, but something happening there with the cars. We do apologize for that. Hopefully it does not happen again. I'm not sure what it was about. Again, it's not a issue on the PC side of things here. Everything is good there. It's something with the sim itself. So I do apologize for that. Let's hope again it does not happen again here in tonight's race. That was definitely not what we wanted to see. So again, let's just cross our fingers and hope it doesn't happen again in the race itself here tonight. We are going to keep a close eye on some things and monitor them here tonight. We may have to see if we can't adjust some things here in a bit, but hopefully that doesn't come to that, as we're 3 wide here at the moment. And 3 wide, just that now, and the 03 of Daniel Masters is going to be on the outside, the 40. Going to be on the inside of Bruce Lee Weaver, the 92 of Casey Tillman. Casey Tillman going to leave the 40 there all alone, as he's going to dip back down to the bottom. So we'll have to see if that middle lane dissolves, and just like that, as we talked about it, the middle lane pretty much dissolves. Not a whole lot going to be happening between those middle lanes. There's just not enough cars to really make it happen here at the moment, so it's unfortunate when it does happen. They get in there. Sometimes they do good, sometimes they do not so good. In that case, didn't end the way they wanted. They lose a few spots, but then they recover and they don't do it again usually. Coming closer to the race here, as we're just about at the halfway point, I would expect these guys to come into the middle lane a little bit more, trying to make some last minute moves. As we are closing in, we're on lap 22 here on this stint, lap 29 in the race. We knew a solo run could do about 24 laps. What can a pack run do? We're going to be saving a little bit of fuel, so we'll see, maybe 25, 26 laps. Either way, they're going to be coming down here shortly, here in the next 5 or so laps. Probably, I would say 2 to 5 laps will be coming down. Also, we are just about at the halfway point as we're coming up to start lap 30. When we start lap 31, we will officially be at the halfway point. One caution here tonight, as we'll bring that information onto your screen real fast. You see right there here at Talladega Super Speedway. Tonight we've had 1 caution for 2 caution laps. 13 different lead changes here tonight. No surprise there. We knew we would have a lot of lead changes coming in to tonight's race. Doesn't mean we've had 13 different leaders, but we have indeed had 13 different lead changes here tonight. So 13 different lead changes here tonight for this event. Definitely look to see some lead changes happening towards the end. We'll see possibly another caution or 2. I don't think we're out of the woods on that either. You know, the question is, how many more cautions will we have here for tonight's event? I don't know. Nobody really knows. That's a question you just can't answer until later on tonight. That being said, I do expect to see some. So we are green here at the moment. We are at the halfway point, so we have completed 30 laps, 30 to go. The halfway point is here and gone, as we still have Bruce Lee Weaver out front. He has done a good job in that 40 machine to lead some laps. He's led 5 laps. Casey Tillman trying to get back. Jeff Stabnow trying to get back. So is Chris White. These guys want to get those bonus points as they're starting to really zigzag on the track here. Just a little bit. They're going to be 3 wide back here for about 5th, 6th, and 7th place. And now we're going to have the 11 of Frank Harris jump out there. He is currently in 3rd place at the moment. And he's going to go into the middle there. He's going to try to work with the 03 of Daniel Masters. And again, the 12, and Frank Harris, as he is being shown as the race leader. Frank Harris, your new race leader at the moment, but can he hang on to it? No, he does. The 40 going to be coming down. We got a group of them coming down pit road, and that is going to be basically half the field coming down. 6th place on is going to come down at pit road. Chad Mallett going to stay out, but he's by himself. So this is where it really gets interesting if you're coming down pit road here, as we are going to have more connection issues here in iRacing. Hopefully it'll keep us in here. As there we go, we are, and having some internet issues, I do believe, here tonight. We do apologize for that. We're going to have to see if we can't get that sorted out. We've had it before, and we thought we had it fixed, but issues apparently persist here tonight with the disconnecting from the sim. But either way, we have several drivers coming down, and now we have a group that is still out on the track. Everyone has come down and made at least one pit stop here, but you see Sean Brightsman, John Ottenbacher, these guys out there, Dan West Jr., Frank Harris coming down, so these guys are going to be coming down. But Sean Brightsman and John Ottenbacher, a group of 2 teammates here, have not come down to make their stop. They should be coming down here in the next lap or 2 to complete their 2nd stop. And of course, they should have to stop at least one more time before this race is over. All right, and right there, the 89 of Sean Ottenbacher going to go through the grass. That is not what he wanted to see, but he is going to go through the grass, and that's going to be a little costly mistake. Hopefully, he doesn't get a unsafe pit entrance, but that looks like maybe what is going to happen. We'll see if that's the case under green. That is going to be detrimental as he brings it to a stop. Frank Harris is your race leader. He's been down pit road to have his 2nd stop, so he is going to be the race leader all by himself, though, as here comes the rest of the pack. Well, he's not too alone. Who is the 40 of Bruce Lee Weaver going to come up and door smack the 24 Jeff Stabnow. So he will keep right there with him. Jeff Stabnow going to go ahead and take the lead, as we're going to have more issues here tonight. Again, we have got to get that figured out. Something going on here tonight, folks. We may have to step away and see if we can get that figured out. But having some major issues here with the stream. And the 24, Jeff Stabnow, going to go around, and we'll go back and take a look at the caution. Going to come out for it. And he manages to somewhat save it towards the car, so no caution is going to come out. If we get another screen, things like that, folks, we're going to step away and see if we can get it all sorted out, as we'll step away to a black screen for a minute. But again, something going wrong here at the moment. Not sure what it is. But something causing the sim to freeze on us, and that is not what we want to see. So we'll keep working on that the best we can. But Bruce Lee Weaver out front leading this race, followed by Sean Brightsman, Frank Harris, Stephen Paulson, and Dan West Jr. Here at the moment. All right, again, hopefully, let's hope that doesn't happen again one more time, and we will have to be forced to do something about it. But Weaver out front over Harris, followed by Paulson here at the moment. These guys doing a fantastic job of being out here. There's only a group of 4 of them. We have 24 laps to go. Going to be 20 to go before you know it. Again, we may be running into some power issues too. We are going to be looking at that here shortly. We have a new power supply coming in tomorrow here for the streaming computer in the office. Right now, look at Stephen Paulson side by side with Dan West Jr. Again, side by side, doing a really good job of racing. Not, I wouldn't say not touching each other, but doing a good job of not touching each other too much, or staying off each other here for the most part. And both of them doing a good job. Again, that is exactly what they need to do. You don't want to get involved in the big one here. That is the last thing you want to happen. But indeed, it can happen from time to time. What will become the 40 out front leading this race right now is Bruce Lee Weaver. He's led 8 laps as we're coming on 22 laps to go. Again, this is a nice little group here considering they all got spread out there. It is a really nice group of cars all stacked together. We'll have to just kind of wait and see how it plays itself out. Frank Harris doing a good job. So is Dan West Jr. These guys obviously needing to have good finishes here to try to ensure themselves into the playoffs, and both of them are doing really good, so it'll be a matter of who can do what, who does gets the best finish. A lot of things on the line here for tonight. All right, we are monitoring some stuff here for you there just to make sure everything runs smooth here for you tonight. And so far, so good. Everything looks to be running nice and smooth. As at the moment, looks like Chris White's going to take over the lead. So Chris White trying to get that lead back. He had it there for maybe a lap or two, I think, early on in this race, if I do recall correctly. But not going to happen here tonight. As here goes Bruce Weaver back to the front of this race. And he is going to do a good job. He's always a contender. When we see him here, we don't see him a whole lot, but when he is here, he's doing a fantastic job of hanging in there. Again, we are crossing our fingers that the big one doesn't happen here tonight. It has been known to happen before, so let's hope it doesn't happen. The big one here could potentially wipe out a lot of cars. Again, let's hope that does not happen in tonight's race. As the 40 of Weaver has some help in the 83, but he also has some competition coming with 19 to go from the 55 machine of Dan West Jr. Dan West Jr., again, we refer to him as the Rocket Man in qualifying. He chose not to qualify here tonight, but apparently it has not hindered him, as he's got the 92 pushing him right now, trying to push him to the race lead, and it may work. We'll see. It's going to be a close one when they get to the line. As they're coming out of these curves, you really kind of get a momentum boost there just a little bit. So we'll see, but not going to happen here as we're coming up on 18 to go. Let's go on board if we could here with a driver. You know what? Let's go on board with the 11, or actually the 12 of Frank Harris, and see what he's seen chasing these guys down. All right, we are back. Just running on board there just a little bit with your fifth place driver here at the moment. That is Frank Harris, actually fourth place, as he's going to shuffle back and forth here. Who you're not seeing in this pack, there's a whole other pack behind these guys. This group, Jeff standing up back by himself. John Ottenbacher by himself as well. Sean Brightsman's in this front group. But Brightsman doesn't have either one of his teammates to help him. And you've got some people lap down, like Casey Tillman in the 92. He's actually a lap down, but he's pushing the 55. Chad Malik also a lap down. Jesse Gray a lap down. These guys are pushing these lead lap cars here at the moment. And again, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out, how these guys finish. Will we see the big one? We haven't seen it yet, but will the big one happen here in tonight's race? Let's hope not, as it could potentially wipe out a big chunk of the cars here. I know these drivers obviously don't want to see the big one either, as it could spell disaster for their night. Can the 40 of Bruce Weaver pull the win out of the hat here tonight, or is Dan West Jr. or Chris White going to make the upset? It's going to be close. We have 15 laps to go. Going to be 14 at the line. Again, laps are winding down here very quickly in tonight's race. We won't be here too much longer at the pace that we are going. So these guys definitely winding down the pace. Or the race here. The pace ain't winding down at all. These guys are going all out here tonight. It'll be interesting to see who wins. But again, it's been a great race so far. Again, we're glad to have everybody here with us. We know there's quite a few of you out there tuning in here tonight. And we are glad each and every one of you is here tuning in with us. So we have a lot of stuff planned in the works. And of course, it's because of the fans that we're able to do everything we do. Without you, well, we wouldn't be here. So we give a big shout out to all y'all for tuning in each and every night. Alright, it's kind of letting these cars do the talking for us here tonight. The 40 of Weaver still out front. Dan West Jr., Chris White, Frank Harrison, Sean Brightsman right behind them. As we the car slowing down, it's going to be the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. He is going to go ahead and bring it down pit road. This I do figure is a scheduled stop, even though he's got damage to that car. I do believe this is a scheduled stop. He is going to come down here halfway through this 30-lap run, make his stop, and get back out onto the track. And there's his fast repair. He will take, looks like just going to take left side tires, and he is off. 8.7 seconds on pit road. Jesse Gray's already been down a third time as well for a splash of fuel. He is one lap down, so is Jeff Stabnow. They should get that lap back once everybody else hits. Then the race is on until the end of the race to determine who will be your race winner. Right at the moment, again, it's Dan West Jr. now back to the front. He's led 3 laps. He's going to try to lead his 4th one as he is just edging out Bruce Weaver. But just like that, Weaver going to be back to the front once again. And it's a drag race for 2nd place between Chris Light and Dan West Jr. They're trying to push each other just a little bit. They want to get up to your leader who has led quite a few laps. 17 over a quarter of this race has been led by the current leader, Bruce Weaver, doing a fantastic job here at the Super Speedway. Again, it's really, I'd say 50% luck, but it's 50% skill too. You got to put yourself in a position to do good and get the win. So you can't just rely on Lady Luck to help you out 100% of the time, because sometimes Lady Luck forgets to do her job. So you have to put yourself in the position to make things happen as well. Alright, less than 10 laps to go, 9 laps to go here at Talladega Super Speedway. Your front 5 at the moment are Weaver, West, White, Harris, and Bryceman. Keep in mind, these guys have not come down. They cannot make it on a fuel. I do not believe the rest of this race. Maybe they can with the draft, but I don't believe they can. As we know, Jesse Gray and Jeff Stabnow have come down and taken a 3rd stop. They heard 24 laps alone, roughly on fuel. In a pack, I would think maybe 26, 27 laps of fuel in the pack if you're conserving a little bit, saving any at all. I can't see them being able to make a full 30 laps on fuel. It could be interesting. These guys may try to push it here to the limit and see if they can get the win, but I just don't think they can make it. There's Jeff Stabnow in the 24 machine as they're going to come up on him quickly. This is going to put him 2 laps down, as right there he'll go officially 2 laps down. He's going to try to pick up on this draft, I'm sure, and we'll see if that if he's able to do so. And he may catch it. We'll see. Obviously not going to do him a whole lot of good 2 laps down. He needs to get one of those laps back. But with 8 laps to go, again, we brought it up earlier. We see 1 caution for 2 laps. 22 different lead changes here tonight. 22 lead changes. Doesn't mean we've had 20 leaders, but 22 different lead changes amongst those leaders. At the moment, of course, your current leader still is Dan West Jr. They're kind of flip-flopping back and forth between him and Bruce Weaver. Bruce Weaver in that 40 going to make a charge right about now. You'll see him as the race leader. But it's going to change coming to the line. Dan West now your race leader once again. Here comes the 40 of Weaver. Then back and forth they go. Dan West Jr. is going to lead them at the line in that number 55 machine with 6 laps to go here in the race. Again, we do have green-white checkers on, so there would be a green-white checker in the event the caution was to come out, and here is the time when that caution could potentially come out. As we get closer and closer to the end of the racing, things can get crazy. Here's right there, a prime example. 6 laps to go, and now they decide to go 3 wide again. Of course, one of those is going to be the 24, who's a lap down. Sean Brightsman. Sorry, Sean Brightsman not in there. That is the 89 of Ottenbacher. Both of those guys are lap down, working together. Actually, the 24 2 laps down, the 89 1 lap down. They're working together, trying to hang on the outside, get those laps back, or at least a lap back. Because if the caution was to come out, they could stay out. They're not going to need fuel. They really don't need tires. Get your lap back, and then you would automatically get the wave around, and you can get both your laps back if you're the 24. And if you're the 89, you're back on the lead lap right now. You're at the tail end of it, very tail end of the lead lap. So as they run right now, if the caution was to come out because of this group, the 89 is back on the lead lap, tail end of the lead lap. And there we get a shot to the back bumper for Chris White coming down pit road. Looks like somebody didn't check up quite as good as he did, and that will bring no caution, but that will hurt him just a little bit here. 5 laps to go, and back to what we were talking about is that you have Ottenbacher. He's on the tail end of the lead lap. A caution comes out. He's sitting pretty right now. So is Jeff Stabnow. If the caution comes out, he gets waved around. He's not going to come in anyway. So he stays out, gets the wave around, and gets back on the lead lap. We have a green-white checkered. Anything is possible. So many possibilities, so many different things can be shaken up here in this race. You just don't know how it's going to end. How is it going to work out for the rest of this field right now? Again, it's Sean Brightsman that is out front leading this race. And I really think he has a good shot to win this, but Dan West Jr. has got a good shot as well in that 55 machine. He's sitting in the pits right now. But the only driver that hasn't come in for a third stop is Dan, well, he's on pit road now, but Sean Brightsman, he has not been down for a third stop here, and I say that actually that is not correct. John Ottenbacher has not either. Casey Tillman and Jesse Gray have not come down either. So a couple of drivers have not. I really think at this point, since he hasn't come down, he may be banking on that caution coming out. But if that caution does not come out, then I really think Dan West Jr. has one of the best shots at getting the win here tonight. We'll see as he's back out on the track right now. As we'll go over to Dan West Jr. Here he is right there on the track with 2 to go. Chris White on his back bumper. I don't know if Sean can make it. He's got 25 laps on this stint, and he took fuel last time, but we knew 24 was the max solo run. He may squeak this out. I don't know how he's going to do it, if he can do it, but Sean Brightsman at 25 laps on this stint, 2 laps to go. He's going to be coming to the line here, as you see him right there. Him coming to the line to take the white flag. Going to be 1 lap to go this time by for your leader, Sean Brightsman. And right about, it's a long ways down here there. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go, presented by Northwest Racing Series. As can he hold on? He has now about, as they're coming to the backstretch, half a lap to go for your race leader. The 46 of Sean Brightsman. Is he going to have enough fuel? He's going to have his teammates probably help him if he can, but if he runs out of fuel, there's nothing nobody can do for him, as he is trucking forward here at the moment. We'll keep an eye and see Sean Brightsman leading this race. Will he get the win here tonight? It looks like he is set to do it as fuel strategy works for the 46 Walls Beard Co. sponsored machine here tonight. He comes to the line, and your race winner will be... And we're showing a tie for the lead. I don't know why it's showing that. But that is not accurate for some reason. Overlay's acting up, but your winner is going to be Sean Brightsman in the 46 machine, followed by Dan West Jr. Again, not sure why the timing screen wants to be funny here tonight. Unless our timing screen's not acting up properly, if that is the case, but either way, we're showing a tie for Sean Brightsman, and I believe he is going to be the win. He's going to do the celebration. Now, the 46, there we go. Now we have our race winner. Not sure why it wanted to be a little funny there. The sim not cooperating with us, but the 46 is Sean Brightsman going to be your race winner, followed by Dan West Jr., Chris White, Frank Harris, Casey Tillman, your top 5. We will go ahead and get rid of that off your screen and pull up your running order here for the finishing order on the side of your screen. It will be right back here in just a moment with your top 3 drivers here for the post-race show. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here before we went live making some cheesy jokes, but regardless of that, we do have our third place driver here tonight. That is going to be 83 of Chris White. Good news is he's locked in to the chase. This does it. He survived Talladega and obviously was already locked in before then, but you're in. Moving on to the first round of 12. So now, does that pressure mount up just a little bit more moving into the chase, Chris?
Yeah, I'd say so. Pressure's going to start hitting next week when we start the first round of the chase, and we just got to hit our marks and just keep going. We've been doing well, having some good runs, and just some fierce competition here. You know, with the Wicked Chassis cars and some of these other guys in here. It's going to be a lot of fun though moving forward.
Definitely, we're looking forward to it. You got a lot of stuff riding on it. Obviously, you want to get that championship here in the series. We know last season coming into this one, a huge rival between you and the 24 of Jeff Stab. Now, back and forth, it seems like I believe the last 8 races was between you two, maybe even more. You're both in it again. So, are you looking forward to having those, good battles again this season, either with Jeff or any of the other competitors out there?
Oh yeah, you can bet that SimStar Motorsports here is going to be trying its best. I'm going to be up there up front with them, 24, the 46. It's going to be some tough racing though. Like I said, these guys are some fierce competition, and it ain't going to be an easy task trying to get through these rounds in the playoffs.
It's definitely not, and we can hear the race control there telling some people who's in the playoffs there. It's cool we get to hear the radio over the thing, but I like it. It's kind of cool. It's like being at the real racetrack. But that would be Jeff probably telling people what to do and who needs to get in here at TeamSpeak. But again, we don't want to keep you here too long. Obviously, people got work tomorrow. But a terrific run here. You finish in third place, and we know you got some shout-outs and sponsors on that car you need to thank for getting you here to the chase. So who would those be?
Yeah, definitely a solid run here in the SimStar Motorsports newly painted Chevy Camaro. Thought we could have had a top two there. I got punted there entering pit road, even though I announced pit road. I think the 6 car got into me there anyways, and I think that was the the seconds I needed to maybe get past that 55. But the third place is a good run. Definitely carry this momentum moving forward. Got to thank Virtual Racing Network for the broadcasting. Definitely great broadcast. Definitely go back and watch this. I got to thank Walls Beer Co. Check them out, beard products. I hear they're awesome. WallsBeerCo.com. Got to thank everybody in the series. It's been a great season for SimStar Motorsports. It's been a great season for everybody here. Hope the fans are liking it. And, well, congrats to Sean again on another win. And hopefully SimStar Motorsports has got what it takes to knock that team out.
Definitely, we will be looking forward to it. And, of course, that brings us to our second place finisher here tonight. As we refer to him, the 55, that is Dan the Rocket Man West Jr., usually he's a rocket man out there on qualifying. He opted not to qualify here tonight. Started at the back, but it didn't hinder him at all as he worked his way up to second place here tonight. So, Dan, first off, what prompted you to not qualify? And obviously it didn't hurt you too bad here tonight.
Well, being a super speedway, I don't think the qualifying really matters. As you can see, the pole sitter, he slid to the back also, and no Sean riding around back there, him and John, and I think it's more relaxing to sit back there and ride around. When you're sitting up front, it's all you can do to hold onto the car and stay out of trouble. So I think it's, you just got to go to the front when it's time.
Well, you found the time you needed to go. You capitalized perfectly off of it. And you end up getting a second place finish here tonight. And overall, a good run. Obviously, you're already locked into the chase as well. So going into that in next week's race, any sponsors you need to thank on that car and shout-outs that have got you here so far?
Well, Cody, we appreciate you being out here with VRN, Walls Beard Company, and just all the drivers that come out here and try to, make a full field of cars so we can have some fun on a Monday night. We deeply appreciate that. Congrats to Sean, the Iceman, again. He's always there at the front at the end, and so he's a guy I feel like we're going to have to look to beat. I mean, Chris White is obviously a guy that's always at the top also, but it's going to be a fun playoff, and I'm ready for that. It's time to get off these road courses, get off these plate tracks, and go race.
Definitely is. We're looking forward to it, and hopefully we'll talk to you quite a bit in the playoffs. And, of course, someone, as he just said, the Iceman. That's what we're going to call him from now on, the Iceman of the 46. And kind of an interesting term there for Sean Brightsman. The Iceman is Jeff Stabenow was really looking to get the win here and get that bonus point and tie up with you. You kind of put that on ice here as he did not get that win, but you did. So how does it feel? Once again, I believe the 7th, 8th, 9th win, something like that. It's a lot of wins either way. He's looking to get some points on you, but he didn't do it here tonight.
It feels pretty good. The crazy part of it that feels great is that we ran a Talladega race with one caution, and it came down to fuel mileage for the race win. Mind-blowing. I can't even, I was talking over the radio before the finish and said, how crazy would this be if we don't get a caution? And I can pull out the win through fuel mileage.
Well, we definitely did. We mentioned that one caution for 2 laps is all we had. Uh, Well, again, it really is unheard of. Here on iRacing, we have, of course, the Peak Antifreeze, the NIS, all these series that usually are nothing but caution fest. If you go watch any of those races, if you're a member, you're probably going to see just caution after caution. And then, of course, you come here, and while there was only 15 cars, you were all bunched together all race long. So the opportunity was there for those cautions, but they didn't happen. And you get it on fuel strategy. We talked about a little bit about strategy coming into this race. Obviously, it's a little bit about luck, being in the right place. But how many different strategies do you have to prepare for? Multiple cautions, no cautions, 1 or 2 cautions. How many different strategies do you prepare for at Talladega?
I can't say I prepared for a whole lot. Once that first caution came out and Jeff mentioned that he's going to pit, we're pretty close on fuel, and it's like, that's a good idea. And then I was like, well, I don't think we can make it. We run half fuel in these things, so I figured I'd just roll around in the back and help my teammate who got a speeding penalty or a pit exit penalty and had to line up in the back, and I was just going back there to kind of help and ride around, and decided to kind of just stay back there. It felt like a better place, and definitely more relaxing or a little bit less stressful, like Dan West said. So did that and noticed that we were saving enough fuel that we might be able to get it done.
Well, you got it done here tonight. So, of course, we know you got some sponsors on the side, the hood, the tailgate. There's sponsors all over that car. And, of course, some shout-outs to who those be for getting you into the chase.
I just got to thank Walls Beard Co., Wicked Chassis Racing, Central Welding Supply, Virtual Racing Network, of course, and then everybody at the Northwest. Again, like you said, we had a 15-car field, not the 40s or 30s, but it's a good 15 people that come out, and sometimes we have a little more. So thanks to them for coming out and wanting to run and put on a good show for a Monday night.
All right. Well, again, congrats on it. We're not done just yet. We have 2 more drivers, and I'm not sure the exact order they're going to be in. So we are just going to go alphabetically according to how they are here in the list. And that first one is going to be the 92 of Casey Tillman, who we know made it into the chase. You make it in on points here after tonight's race, Casey. So you're moving on. Same kind of question. You made it in. Is it how much of this is kind of a sigh of relief? Okay, I'm in, and then you got to just turn around and regroup and start that pressure all over again next week.
I mean, man, first off, I'm kind of shocked I was still close enough in points after missing those last couple races. Between work and racing in general, haven't really had a lot of time to get on iRacing and come out and play with these guys. So jumped on tonight after they sent out that post on Facebook and told us, hey, you're pretty close. You're on the bubble. You might make it. So I was like, oh, well, let's go play and have some fun.
Well, Chalk went up to Jeff's post. I'm sure I will not live that down when he hears that, because we both put posts up. So apparently his worked and mine didn't. But that is a whole nother story. We were teasing each other about it. But yeah, you're in. So looking forward here, are there any tracks in this chase that you really think you got a good shot at getting the win and moving on, or are they really going to be tough tracks for you?
Honestly, I haven't really looked too far ahead on the the chase tracks yet. I don't know. Like tonight, I felt like I was just kind of riding around. We were riding up front. Didn't really like riding around on the bottom too wide. So I kind of like these restrictor tracks, but I don't think we have too many of those. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to play it out and see if we can pull a Sean Brightsman and get in on a lucky skate by on fuel mileage or something.
Oh, there you have it. Again, we'll be looking to talk to you in that chase. I'm sure we'll talk to the drivers during the chase, during the races and stuff, under cautions and stuff. And, of course, getting you into the chase, probably got some sponsors or at least some shout-outs you want to give for getting you here.
Yeah, I got to give a shout-out to Mike Woods. He normally builds me paints. For some reason, it wasn't loading tonight. I don't know what's going on there, but... shout out to him for always, hooking me up with some killer paint jobs and that. Pit Stop USA, they're a big sponsor of mine in real life and that, so we try to get them on the car and stuff on here because they do help a lot of racers out there with pretty much all safety and anything you really need. YMC Mechanical, and of course, Jeff, Sean, Dan West, all these guys in this group are awesome to race with, to run around here at Talladega on a restrictor track, 2x2, sometimes 3 wide, with one caution. I mean, that says a lot about the group of guys that we're racing with. So it's a lot of fun, and obviously I'd like to get in on a win, but we're locked in, so now we can go out and have some fun and try to win some races in the chase.
Definitely, we look forward to seeing you in the chase, and congrats on getting locked in. And we have one more driver that got locked in here, and that is going to be Stephen Paulson in that number 58 machine. Not only did you start 13th and finish 6th, you got locked into the chase here. So going forward, same kind of question there. Is it a sigh of relief, or is it just that pressure is just getting even intenser now, knowing that you've got drivers like Casey Tillman, Sean Brightsman, Jeff, Chris, Dan, all these guys going to be battling with you just even harder for that championship?
Oh, I'm just going to come out and have some fun. To tell you the truth, I was planning to push Frank into the win so he'd get in. Of course, I wouldn't have probably, but I still would have liked to have done that. But we sort of screwed up our last pit stop and didn't work out. But that's how it goes.
Again, we talk about every single week about the sportsmanship here in this series. And there you have that is what we're talking about, folks. Going to push another driver into victory lane and almost probably give up a spot in the chase. So whatever you want to call it, good fortune, karma, whatever. It didn't work out, but you had that plan too, and then it worked. Your backfired plan worked in your favor, and you managed to get into the chase. It's going to be a fun one. Just a very few races left here in the season. Definitely going to be a good one. Overall, you've had a really good season too. Been consistent week in and week out, and that's what it takes to get a championship. So anything is possible here going into the week 1 with 12 drivers. Of course, definitely something we look forward to every season, and I'm sure you got some people you need to thank that helped get you here.
Well, certainly want to thank Walls Beer Co. and everybody that does all the work here. I just come out, have the fun, and I'm happy that I get through these races and don't knock any of these really fast guys out too often. I think I got Sean once. Luckily, he has a little bit to spare, just a tiny bit. And so basically, it's just fun group to be with, and gonna come out and try to see what I can do.
Well, we definitely look forward to it. Again, 12 drivers going to be starting the chase next week. We will be talking to all of them throughout the races, whether it be in a pre-show, post-show, or even during the race. We'll be talking to them. So stay tuned. Next week, we will have the point standings in there so you can know exactly who your top 12 drivers are and who those people are battling that aren't in the chase as well. They're still in the mix of things coming into the first round of 12 until the next race, which is actually Thursday night for the Truck Series. We'll see you there, and have a great rest of your night.